Last time, on Down the Forest Road, Ursula turns to her enchanted bed for her trial, while Lila, Alcina, and Selma fend off dark creatures that enter from the 4 mirrors in the room. Alcina discovers that by destroying the mirrors, they can further stop the next wave of horrors. Facing imps, hellhounds, lemures, nightmares, and chain devils, the Coven fights the night terrors to defend Ursula. During the fight, Lila and Ursula are rendered unconscious and Selma dies. Thanks to Ursula's gift, a bracelet with a piece of her soul, Selma is brought back to life. The revitalized Selma then breaks another mirror, causing some of the monsters to fade. Lila is knocked back down once again, trying to defend Ursula, and Alcina shatters a mirror, vanishing the chain devil. Lila comes back to consciousness once more, and shadow teleports a devil's head off by using her chain bracelet to decapitate it. Selma breaks the final mirror with a surge of magic from the weave and brings her twin back to consciousness. Newly awakened, Ursula heals Lila, while Selma curses her sister through an enchanted bite, knocking her out in a loving rage. The party regroups now, as both the end of the road and Alcina's time draw near.
Ursula, we join you as your eyes open. In bed, as you see your trial ended before you passed back out, the doors back into London are open. The doors out back into the Forest Road are open. And you see 3 people around you, and I want each of them to describe what they're doing. Lila, let's start with you. What are you doing as Ursula wakes up?
I think she's just going to pat herself, make sure, still intact from those multiple brushes with death, and then run over to Ursula and make sure she's okay as well. So you would wake up to a very concerned Lila, just like this, right up to your face.
Alcina, what are you doing?
They're still in that room, correct? Or
If you all want to leave the room, you're able to, but yes. Right now, everyone is still in the room in which the trial happened.
Alcina will kind of look to the road, to the forest. They're kind of cleaning up their daggers and putting them back, kind of in secret areas. They're wearing like a long skirt that's like the slit is like way too high up on their hip, and they put their stopwatch. They pull their stopwatch, look at the time, and put it back in their blouse. They're avoiding Selma's face, but they're looking quizzically at Ursula. Because something happened and something different happened. I don't think they would know if it was healer kind of. It just looked very like cool magic and suspicious. So they're just like, "What is up with you?" If Ezra's in the room, without looking at him,
He is.
Without looking at him, she'll think very quietly to him, "You came.
You didn't throw me away."
And then with that, she'll like snap the stopwatch closed. And she's just waiting for everybody to get up. So she'll just, "There's a door. Forest, back to the city."
And Selma, what are you doing?
I think Ursula, because is Ursula fully mechanically? Is she like long rested, or is she like what's happened to her?
We'll say after, like, this will be your all's long rest that you all are going to take, unless you all want to just continue on the road, and then we can say maybe you get a short rest in. But if you all want to long rest, this will be like your safe room that you all can long rest in.
A safe room.
So if it was a long rest, then Ursula would wake up and not see her sister leaning over her as Lila would, but she will feel something around her wrist. Two different things. One, the bracelet that she had put on Selma's wrist is now tied onto hers, and underneath that is the mark where Selma had bit her. As is this cursed mark is burned into her skin. It's not. One would think it was supposed to be ugly, you know, but it's very light dashes around, like a cool tattoo almost, on the inside of her wrist. And I think physically, Selma knows Alcina's been avoiding her, so she's just been leaning against the door, waiting for whenever Ursula feels better.
So, Ursula, you awaken to a face above you, a bracelet and a mark on your arm, and Alcina saying, "So the road?"
Right. I think Ursula is in a daze. I don't think... Here's what I'm... Okay. So, I'm repeating again. Lila's right here. Right here. Does not notice the wrist thing yet, I don't think. But I think she's also in a daze, right? So as her in her daze, as she meets Lila's eyes, she says, "You are a vision," and then kisses her.
Lila is surprised, but very much welcomes said action.
Oh, I ran out of drink. I just imagine, like, as Jenna's like face was like right there in the camera, like it's very much just like almost fisheye lens. Like Lila's face would be fisheye lens, like in Ursula's face, and in her daze, she just was like
Hot.
Exactly. And then I don't know what happens after that. I don't know what Lila decides to do after that, but then I think she'll feel a sting in her wrist. And then sort of like almost forget that she just kissed Lila in a way, as she feels this sting and looks down at the bracelet.
Are you okay?
We're all alive.
Mostly.
I'll be okay. I think we'll all be. And she's saying, as she's saying that, she's looking over, like she's still holding her wrist up and looking at Selma. Seeing this bracelet, I don't even know if she's noticed the mark.
I think Lila will just brush a little bit of hair out of your face and just be like, "Go talk to your sister."
No.
I don't know if I should.
No. How you I don't have to roll insight checks for you. From twin to twin, murder.
I think that she looks at Selma, sees murder in Selma's eyes, and this is what Ursula's going to do. She's going to look at Lila and just say, I'm going to hide under the blanket. Do you want to play Pillow Fort?
I would love to.
It's just Pillow Fort. It's not sexual, Sean. It's an adult Pillow Fort. I saw Sean's face and I was like, wait a minute. Yes, I'm going to do that. So I think that's just like...
It's not just shout out Mozz in chat. Sure it is. Adult pillow fort. Really? This is not just Sean's reaction. Chat, back me up here, chat.
No, chat. Shut up, chat.
Mozz in chat right now, right? Adult pillow fort. Okay, well, it's a completely innocent thing because she doesn't want to get killed by Selma again. So Ursula's hiding under the covers. It's like a very like how Selma often describes what they do as kids. This is just something that would happen. I don't feel like there's many times in her life that Ursula has been terrified of Selma. But seeing the bracelet on her arm, I think she knows. I think she knows that she knows and is scared shitless.
And
skapoopied. I made up that word.
Selma, you would see as your sister is completely averting your gaze, your eye, I imagine, could move to Alcina, and you see Fidgety in the corner.
Running out of time, I say to her.
Yes. Running out of time. And if this is how the next one is, fucking hell, we're, and they look at their clock. How much time has passed? From like 9 p.m.
Yeah, you're around 10:30.
Oh, can I be peering over with my height to look over and see the time?
I won't say no. I will point out the clock is abstract symbols and numbers that is really only readable by Alcina. So unless Alcina has taught you how to read the stopwatch, you would not know where it sits.
Oh, she's just peeking over.
So unless I have, I need I need so much to trade for time back for.
At this point, Selma is going to, with the other two hiding out of the blanket, she's going to start to unbutton her doublet and her blouse and pull back her short hair to extend her neck to her and lean down and says, I don't know how you take memories, but here, take some of mine. Her throat is to Alcina.
Outside of this room, is there where either the two doors are, is there something of water in either there, just outside of the room, not like they're going out, right? Is there like a little pond on the road to the forest, or like a fountain back to the road in the city?
You haven't seen any deviation from forest other than Lila's trial on the path that would indicate water. However, you do know that there are several fountains in the city.
They will pull Selma out that room, away from the two under the covers in their adult fort. And tuck the shirt, but they will leave like their palm on it. I just have never asked for memories before. They were only little things, you know? Millions of people walking around with potential events happening to them that they would never miss. I never had someone willingly give their memories. No, I don't need to do that.
And at that, Selma will wrap her arm around her lower back, because as Sean said earlier, she would have noticed when she came back that Alcina was the one standing over her, right? She'll wrap her arm around her lower back, pull them in closer to her, and say, so I'm your first then. I like being first. A good one for me.
near the fountain, they'll take like a little bit of water, like the ripples, to kind of start the spell and start pulling a couple memories, and it'll just feel like a piece of thread coming off of a shirt. So you feel a slight tug, but it's like to memories and time. As they just smile and kind of like they're winding it up in their hands, and they're like in magic kind of pulling like the yarn closer to you as they like you I don't know if you infuriate me sometimes, because I don't understand. You know what? I don't think it's infuriating. It's you are my undoing, Selma.
Big toothy grin spreads across her face. I told you I like seeing you messy.
And every time you keep defying me or stand in the way you do, and they're like really close, so the magic is winding up more. It terrifies me because I cannot stop myself from wanting you.
Like the thread that Alcina is pulling, Selma moves to her so that their fronts are touching. How tall is Alcina again?
Not that tall.
That tall? And I think Selma is going to, like the scarecrow she is, lean down, take her hand under their chin, tip it up to hers, and say, well,
with the magic that they're weaving, what they get time back and how much?
Selma, what memory are you giving up?
oh. Well, Selma assumes it has to be a pretty powerful one.
I will point out above table, Alcina explained to you, normally they just take tiny little moments and no one will miss.
Right.
But you wouldn't have known about the bartender, but I think you would know just innately how magic works. The more meaningful it is, the more helpful it's going to be. If it takes several people's moments they'll never notice to get a day, one person's important memory will do a lot more.
I think the first time, I think it cuts to a memory of two little girls in a bed, crackling fireplace. One of them curled up against the other, and little Selma is just softly patting her sister's hair as she sleeps peacefully and safely.
I'm gonna roll. Mozz, I want you to roll. Oh no, Mozz and Emma, you both can tell me who's gonna roll. Someone roll 2d20 at advantage, and whatever the number is how many hours you get back.
An 18.
13.
So, Alcina, you see the clock rewind to about 3:30 a.m.
Oh, I was going to say you were going to give me like 19 plus 13 minutes. Damn.
Hours
Seeing-
per roll.
Seeing it go back, the pressure of it like lifts off of Alcina. And they will put a finger to Selma's lips, and there's like a freeing kind of like their anxiousness kind of drops. No, they just have time. So they back up from them, step into the fountain, and turn to them. And say, I look at you, and I want to show you what 80 years of instruction, patience, and time has taught me. And they will like drop their clothes into the fountain.
No! No!
And maybe if we have time, hear my name leave your lips. And they'll pull them into the fountain and kiss.
Lila,
Yeah. Sup.
I want your POV. First off, you would feel Greg kind of like under the blankets, not knowing the vibe. Greg is going to try and leave a bit. Are you wanting Greg to stay, or you dismiss Greg?
Greg is dismissed. Greg can keep watch if need be.
You feel Greg go, and then fade into the background as Greg fades out. What's going through Lila's mind as the adult pillow fort is happening, and you just got a kiss from someone you've been flirting with?
We don't have to say adult pillow fort. It's just an innocent pillow
like
fort.
The distinction has to be there now. I think she'll reach for Ursula's hand, look at her in the eyes, and just be like, how are you doing?
I'm a bit worried about this. And she's going to, well, she just explains what the bracelet meant. And with this being back on my wrist, it can only mean one thing. That Selma died and came back to life. But before we came here, I gave it to her and said that it was to find her way back to me. And she did, but it'll be fine. I'm enjoying this. I'm going to enjoy this moment under the sheets comfortably. What's happening?
I don't know.
It's just under the sheets.
Yeah, we're going to enjoy this moment under the sheets comfortably.
To Ursula, she is having an innocent pillow fort. There's no need for there to be adult in front of it.
Please continue the scene, Lila and our.
1 second.
I think. Okay. Here's what Ursula's gonna do next. Ursula has, I guess, she is enjoying. Just like, I imagine that they're both like resting their heads on the pillow, and like just looking at each other, or they could be sitting across from each other ridiculously with a sheet over their heads.
Imagine it started like, you know, like laying next to one another, like looking up, like straight up, and then like when Lila asked, how are you, she would have turned on her side towards you.
Yeah, okay, so then what Ursula's going to do is like, from like out of the sheet, like put her hand out of the sheet. Emma!
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
From out of the sheet, she's going to summon something, and she brings it back in, and she sees a thistle.
A what?
a thistle.
Okay.
And she looks into Lila's eyes and says, from a distance, these thistles might look dangerous. But the closer you get, the more you realize how beautiful they are.
Then Lila's absolutely just like staring, processing, and then she's going to initiate a kiss. And it's very tender, but very passionate and intentional.
And Ursula's gonna reciprocate.
Ow! So just making out. This is making out the episode.
Yeah.
Banging the episode.
And so, as we have an adult pillow fort with some tenderness and a naked fountain kiss with some different tenderness, I think all of you benefit from the effects of a long rest. And any scenes you want to happen, I am not going to narrate anything here. The rest of this long rest is just you all.
It is.
Take as much time as you want, and when you feel ready, we will move on with the game. I am going to sit back a moment and let whatever you want go. The next morning, you all, for the first time on the road, have actually taken a long rest. And you wake up refreshed, energized, all health restored, all spell slots there, but feeling the weight of what has come before. Any fatigue you may have gained is still holding you down. Your boxes have been reset, but your stressors have not. And Alcina, I think you being the ever-present let's get moving person would probably be the first to rise. You'd see everyone still calmly sleeping, whether sharing spaces on the floor or in a bed together, or whatever people ended up doing. Right outside the other side of the door, where, not the one leading back into the city center, but the one leading forward to the trial, is a small little, automaton diorama of a flower that has several little pedestals around it, and it's just sitting there, made out of silver.
Alcina will slowly kind of pull off any limbs and arms that are wrapped around her and kind of sneak out, trying to find something to cover herself, and creep towards it.
When you creep towards it wearing whatever you can find that's dry, you find a little, datura flower with it fully spread open, and inside of it just a small little mote of magic. And it seems like all the things around are pressurized. If you push them down, other parts of the machine will move.
Is the flower alive as well, like an actual flower?
The flower seems to be fully mechanical, still made of silver, very thin pieces that are just stretching apart to kind of show the flower growing and opening into its trumpet-like shape, kind of like the top of a gramophone.
When she realizes that, she will put her hand over it, almost crush it a little bit. Her knowing that datura flowers are poisonous, and actually touching this is like a privilege. So she will let her fingers dance over it before she hovers over the keys. What is this? Ezra?
Yeah.
Did you see what put this here?
I think it simply appeared overnight. But who could really say? I certainly wasn't looking around last night.
Could I do a Arcana or some kind of check to see if this is safe to touch?
Yeah, go ahead.
What would be best? Arcana? Investigation?
Probably Arcana.
That is a 12.
Yeah, seems perfectly safe to touch.
She'll pick it up.
It seems like it's a non-magical little trinket other than the mote of energy inside of it.
Yeah. As soon as that, she just picks it up. She's like, oh, a little present. We don't get these much.
Do you press any of the keys or leave it be?
If it has a feeling of like a gramophone or like a musical box, they'll press one to see if it plays.
When you press it, it doesn't play, but you see the mote of power inside grow bigger, from like a small little pearl to something about the size of a bead, and the button you push remains permanently pressed down. It doesn't seem to have any contraption to pull it back up.
Is this broken? Press another one.
Yeah, same thing. The power inside grows, the flower looks a little bit more healthy, and the key stays permanently down.
One more.
Same thing.
One more.
Same thing.
She's gonna keep doing it, like her eyes lighten up, like as it gets more and more powerful.
And at no point does it ever seem to be too much that it breaks. At no point does it ever shut down. But at no point do any of the keys fully return. But every time you press one, the mote of light gets bigger and bigger on the inside.
What is this little starlight? How do I shouldn't break it. No. I shouldn't trust this, should I? And she says that mentally.
Who can say? Nothing seems to be fully leading you astray yet. But also nothing's really been as simple as it seems either.
Agreed. Fine. I'm keeping
Perhaps
this.
you should get the others up.
Yep,
Or-
agreed.
Okay. And how does Elsina go about waking up the other three?
Oh, goodness. Alcina wouldn't know what they were up to in their pillow fort. Sleeping soundly and getting a full night rest. But they will wake up Selma first by like tracing their brow line and just slowly waking them up. Up. We got to go. There is a road. Come on. Up.
It's a road. I think you Selma almost looks younger in sleep because it's the first time you've ever seen her face fully relaxed. Her hair almost a little boyish because her short hair is kind of mussed all around from whatever activities occurred. And And I think you say up, 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 time to go. And that, peaceful, gentle, maybe, her hand is still curled in a position that was holding your arm before you left. When you say up, 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 time to go, complete shift as bright red eyes open, lurches almost like into jumps into combat, almost much like an animal being woken from slumber. She launches up.
I will say how Alcina was pretty much sitting over you and just being like
So with the gentle tap tap tap, so with that with the tapping, still not used to being held or cuddled, she will launch up and pin you under her, thinking that you're a threat. And then when she acknowledges that it's you, the the eyes that would probably, the pupils probably dilated, when she acknowledges that it's you waking her from her sleep and not, someone attacking her. Eyes refocus, and the gaze is soft, and the cheeks are a little blushed as she gives you a small toothy grin.
She will open up her stopwatch. We might have a little time, but nope, there's a road. They'll leave like a soft little kiss with a little bite on your chin before like tapping your shoulder. You have to wake up your sister and Lila. I don't know what this does, but don't tell the others. I might have messed with it a little bit. And they'll like pull out the little mechanism with the flower.
While Alcina's telling her this, and she's listening and watching, she's pulling on her trousers, pulling on her shirt, rolling up the sleeves, the suspenders, whole 9 yards. She goes,
Alcina's messing with you. We're almost like they are stopping you from putting stuff back on, but also like letting you continue, kind of how she messes with Ezra. So if there's any like button misplaced, she'll like button the wrong one, make you do it right, and then just unfasten it again and just smile or like
smacks me with the suspenders. She'll fully let you mess with her, and almost you'll get like kind of like a when people play at being annoyed when they're not. So she's playing at being annoyed, but is fully indulging and loving that you're giving her this much attention and focus. And she'll say, so it's time for your trial then, as she's, readjusting the suspender you just slapped on her back, rebuttoning the button.
Then this shouldn't be trusted.
What's not to
Why
be
can't you
trusted?
ever give us just gifts? And she says that too, like the road.
At that,
I think
oh, sorry. I was gonna say Selma would pause, pop up the collar, and go, I don't know, I got one of the best ones last night.
Ursula and Lila, I think from the giggling and statements you would hear from the other two, you could be naturally roused into awakeness.
Okay, let me tell you what Ursula looks like right now. Do you know,
Okay, excellent.
imagine, okay, first of all, we have to remember this is probably the first night Ursula has slept all the way through, and, well, when she got sleep. And then she, imagine, a Disney princess sort of, rested like this, softly on the pillow, just looks very, picturesque, of somebody that looks like they're trying to impress someone when they wake up, almost. That's just how she looks. She's just being really sweet, if she was snoring, you'd be like, just very sweetly on her pillow.
Did she wake up early, like in the proposal, to do her? You know the scene I'm talking about, where then she
Yeah, it's completely posed. I don't know if she did, though, but still. Yeah, let's just say she did.
I think Lila will kind of softly mutter under her breath and just say, And she thought me a vision and slowly wake you up by gently holding or just like tracing the outline of your jaw.
Okay. Ursula goes. She just like takes in a deep breath. Oh. Good morning.
Good morning. How'd you sleep?
It was one of the best sleeps I've ever had, and I have you to thank for that.
Feelings mutual.
And I think Ursula is kind of blushing in almost a way that's like, I don't think she's blushed yet. I think Lila has been the one blushing, but I feel like she's waking up and is like, huh, we're still here. But it's in welcome company. And I think, yeah, that's how she's feeling on the inside.
You ready to face your sister? Or shall we stay in the pillow fort?
Ursula immediately puts the sheets back over them. Even though they're probably in the room, she just, I think maybe just 5 more minutes. As she's reminded of exactly what happened. And then actually she looks at her wrist, and maybe this is when she notices that she has bite marks on her. Yes, I think I need 5 more minutes of calm with you.
5 more minutes it is. It's the least I can do.
And I'm staying under these sheets.
Then Alcina, what is it that you do to help Selma finish getting ready for the day?
Alcina will not wake up Ursula themselves. They will not. They're the person they've been avoiding or like not really connecting with. So they're just like, I don't want to, but do you think we should interrupt? And then they will push Selma to go towards where they are, just like, your sister, you know.
Well, if they're fucking, I don't want to walk in on that. You go do it. You do it.
Jeez.
It's your trial. It's your trial. It's your trial. It's your trial.
Okay,
This
then
is part one of your trial. I believe in you.
Is there a door to where they were?
Nope.
We're all the same room.
This is the same room that Ursula's trial took place in.
Oh, so they went. I thought we
were outside.
Were farther. Yeah, we went to the fountain and probably slept near it. That's what I was thinking. So they would go to wherever the room was. If there is a door or some kind of thing, or if there is not, either Alcina will kick the door in or throw something in and just say, I am coming in, put something on, or be warned. Like, I will judge now. No? We gotta go. There is a road. And then turn full 360 out and straight to the road.
Go, there's a road. Kids, get out of bed. We gotta go. There's a road.
Ursula is laying underneath these sheets, head on the pillow, just like completely like trying not to starfish. And she just takes the sheet from out overhead and goes, fine. And then sits up and says to Lila, I'm not ready for what's to come of this. I don't want to look at Selma, and Alcina seems pissed, so I wonder if they're going to somehow gang up on me. I'm not asking you to watch my back, but if you do, or if Greg's around and can somehow be a distraction, then that would be appreciated. and she's just gonna get out and like put on her bloomers or whatever the hell she wears under her dress.
I imagine Greg just does like a little dance. Like a little distraction dance. Make light of the situation.
That's his bonus action.
Yeah.
Bonus action Greg dance.
Greg dance.
Yeah, I think Greg and Ezra spent the night like talking to each other because both were dismissed from their scenes.
Sharing
the
a
two of
bottle
them,
and
like,
a pack of cigarettes. Just kicking it back.
Yeah. Like Ezra was not watching, Greg was not watching, so Greg and Ezra are just like over in familiar land, just sitting together for the night, having a night's off-screen
They're
conversation
playing Uno.
between
Yeah.
a man that cannot talk and a man that is bird, just sitting there together.
I need a picture of that. Like them
Yeah,
around
I
their
do
own little
too.
campfire with like a
Yeah,
little stove with beans. I don't know why there's a stove with beans. I just want there to be that for those two. Like cowboys under the stars. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Brokeback Mountain.
okay, well I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah. Why
But
not?
anyway, Alcina wakes you up.
I'll have your back. Light hand squeeze.
Squeezes back. You are beautiful in the morning, by the way. And Ursula walks away.
I will smile and follow. Lila is trying to learn how to take compliments, even though it's very uncomfortable. And by this, we definitely mean Lila and not Jenna.
Jenna's like, I wanted to make this very clear. That's my character.
Then, Selma, you would be the last to go into the room where your sister Alcina and Lila are.
So, Alcina had just gone, come on, get up, time to go, gotta get to the road, right? So Selma will, stamp in with her heavy boots. That was your first warning. If you want your second warning, you better get the fuck out now. As, she starts to chuckle darkly under her breath, and wait in the doorway for the others to get up.
So if we leave, we get another warning?
And it's eyes locked directly.
She's not looking at you as she walks outside!
You want another warning?
No.
Okay.
I think Ursula's very nervous right now.
And I think Selma knows this, but I think she's like, instead of being like, oh, she's kind of amused because she's like, okay, good, right? Like if I can't make, her inner mind is, if I can't make you fear for yourself, you will fear me.
Right. Well, Ursula is scared crapless.
You look well rested, she says to her sister, for the first time in years.
And you have a smile on your face. Have a good night.
Dorkily chuckles.
Your hair's wet.
I went for a swim.
In a lake? And there's like no lakes around them.
I went for a wonderful, wonderful swim. Deep under, in some lovely nooks and crannies and caverns and
Of London.
yeah, of London. Yep, that's exactly where I was.
You went back in. Oh, I didn't think you would go back there after your trial, but
Well, I can't, when it calls, duty calls. What can I say? She's
okay.
Is she looking at your face? Do you at one point look over at Selma's face?
Yes. What does Selma look like?
Giant fucking smile. She's completely fucking with you. And it's been innuendo this entire fucking time.
Ursula blushes and continues walking.
And then I think As you all leave the room, just like the first time you left summer camp, the passage behind seals shut, and there's no longer a path to the safe room or London behind it. And once again, in front of you stretches only road. So as you all step out onto the road once more, a very familiar, yet still entirely unsettling path lies before you, with just the faintest smell of honeysuckle in the air.
I love honeysuckle.
Alcina will walk way farther, like faster than everyone else, and kind of look back once in a while as if they're looking at the view, but looking at them, trying to create distance. But they will tell Ezra, please stay by my side. I'm not sure what this leads to.
Intend to leave you. I don't intend to betray you or abandon you. I'll stand by you as long as you ask me to.
She will extend her arm out for him to land, and then put him on her shoulder. And if she still has that mechanism, she'll look at it and see if anything is changed from them moving onto the road.
You see that all of the keys have reset themselves back up, but and the pearl has gone back down to a very small mote of light. Almost as though the box has reset itself.
I don't want to interrupt. I'll wait.
They'll keep walking if there's no danger, showing themselves.
You said that it smelled like honeysuckle?
Mm-hmm.
Would that feel strange? Or seem strange?
Yeah.
Can I do it a nature check or something to see what that could be leading us to?
Yeah. Go ahead and do it at advantage, because you are a nature girly.
She's a botanist, a green witch. Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Okay, that is going to be 15.
Okay. On a 15, you would know it's strange, because it's not the smell of a honeysuckle plant or the food or the flavor or anything. It's a very specific smell of a poisonous flower on the edge of your village that only comes out at night, that grow a lot in London and around the different parts of the UK. You know that it's a datura flower, and the distinct smell of it, and that it smells so sweet to lure people to it.
And do we see these flowers around us, all around us? We just smell it? I think Ursula will relay that to everyone. We need to be careful. And while it might smell sweet, I don't know if this is something we should be interacting with. It could very much hurt us. So let's be mindful and, I guess, not indulge, no matter how sweet the scent is.
Sweet or not, this seems to be my test and my little trial. So be careful to you, healer. None of you owe me a thing.
Well, we might not owe you anything, but we started this together and we've helped each other this far.
Great, then if you... Fine. If this is where it's leading to, though, we still have to walk towards it.
The road has to end at some point.
Lila and Selma, would you have caught up with Ursula and Alcina?
I would think so. Yeah, I
Yeah.
would think they're all...
I would imagine it's only a few paces behind, if that.
Mhm.
It's all kind of like an amalgus kind of group, depending on.
And as you're all getting close enough together, Alcina, you see a little bud appear in the middle of the road. A little offshoot of a flower, not yet blooming, but much larger on the stalk than any flower has a right to be. The others of you see it as well, but I think you'd be mostly focused on the tiles of light appearing beneath your feet that seem to slowly slide you to different parts of the road.
Tiles are lighting up underneath us right now as we're walking, like
your tiles of like light just moving you and like locking in at one spot on the road
Rainbow Road.
for each
Okay.
of you,
Great.
including Alcina.
I'm scared.
Fucking Rainbow Road.
Yep. We're gonna fall over the edge. Great.
No guardrails. Here we go.
No.
And Alcina, you would feel that box, little mechanical thing, shatter in your hand as you hold it, and the ground beneath each of you stays illuminated. The four of you, as well as Ezra, have a tile beneath them. Ezra pulled off of your shoulder, Alcina, and resorted back into the human form, and beneath that nothing is there except for endless void beneath all of you. Nothing keeping you afloat other than little tiles you stand on, and Alcina, inside the flower, you sense the magic you've always hoped for. And you know what to do to make that flower grow. When a panel of buttons appears in front of you corresponding to all 5 tiles. And just a little panel saying, pay your price.
She would have screamed out no as soon as like Ezra got pulled, kind of clutching at the ends before seeing the tile set up there like boundary. Fuck.
And we're all separated right now, like.
Yep.
And okay, just to repaint a picture for my own brain, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are
So
all
a full picture.
Okay.
Large flower stalk in the middle.
Okay.
Nothing blooming out yet. And then the 5 of you, the 4 of you plus Ezra, each on floating tiles surrounding this. There's no land beneath any of you except for an endless sea of void. Each of you would be probably 60 feet from each other.
Great. That's what I thought I heard.
So
I'm
we're
so
all-
glad I asked to clarify.
So we're all separated. Okay, cool. We're all separated from each other. Okay.
Can they still hear us? And like we're just okay.
Yeah, if
Like,
you were to shout to each other, you
floating.
could hear. And you feel like you can move. You just have nothing to step onto if you were to move. And as you said, when you tried to reach for Ezra, a barrier prevented you from getting to him. But you're able to move within your tile.
Ursula's gonna tap one foot around her over every side to see if she
There's
feels
nothing there.
anything. Ah, okay.
And Alcina, once again the buttons start pulsing with the little plaque, pay your price.
Whatever the buttons are on, or if it's like a thing, she wants to kick it, but she kicks like the tile underneath and just. What? Fuck. Don't you. If you.
Do we see Alcina freaking out?
Mm-hmm.
There's only me. You do not owe anything. You do not owe anything.
What do we have to do? Selma is calling out from her platform.
Mhm.
I don't understand. What do you need us to do?
The price seems to be you, so I can get what I want.
Price of what? Our lives?
There's 5 buttons and there's 5 of you. And whatever is underneath,
Jenna, you're muted.
Jenna, you're muted.
What if one of us gives up something dear to us? And she pulls out Faye in a jar. I've already lost her once. I've already
Don't
lost her
think of
once.
me as
I'll
some
take it
kind little. I will.
I don't think you kind. That's why I like you. You're no bullshit. But you do have kindness in you.
I will press these buttons to be free. I will do it. I will press every single one for that. I will not go back to that goddamn Forsaken world without it. And you think I will press fuck it, Faye too. If it means I get more and I get to not live in that fucking world where I get to be more than just. I will press. And then she'll hover over Ezra's first and then pull it back. Then hover over Lila's and she's pulling it back. And then she just holding onto it, just shaking, kind of softly over Selma's, like almost pressing it down before she says, "Fuck!"
Do it! Selma shouts. Do it! If you thought what you were before wasn't enough, do it.
You don't.
No, I don't understand. That's what you're gonna say, right? Because you thought you weren't enough. You wanted more, because you weren't enough as you were. Well, I think what I've seen from you is pretty fucking fantastic. But if you want more, take it. Do it. Press it. Give her what she wants.
I know I am enough. I am more than enough for this world. I'm more than enough for those who look at me and see a woman and not. I am more. I just don't want to go back to the shitty fucking world where I have to try twice as hard to be considered equal enough. And then for those who look at me and see where I come from first, and then having to explain it, where I have to kiss someone and be accepted. I could be anything with more power, with nothing holding me back. I could hold children until their last day and carry them through their last moments. I could be more.
Then do it.
How can we help you? Ursula shouts.
You can't help me, healer. That's what this feels like. Because I know I would choose me.
Then why haven't you? Time is ticking. Alcina, if you really wanted power, you would have pressed those fucking buttons already. What do you really want? You want acceptance. I don't know what that's like. I've never felt what you felt, nor ever will I. Does it have to be the whole world that wants you? Or can it be a few people? Does it have to be the whole world that accepts you, or can it be a few people? Would it be enough if you weren't alone?
There is no future like that. And they'll slowly press down on the button. I say goodbye eventually. I keep moving. To hold on to something. I don't. They'll look it over to Lila. Is there anything different when they offer up Faye? Does another button come up?
Nothing yet, but Lila could try throwing Faye, placing Faye down. Something.
Poor fucking Faye.
And I am okay. I'll try placing her down and let's see what happens.
Yeah. When you place down Faye, you see that like part of your platform starts trying to form another, as another life force is added there, but it doesn't seem necessarily enough. And so Greg steps over
No!
and holds the jar,
Greg!
and then splits. And there's now a platform with an additional button of Greg holding a little soul of a firefly in a jar, staring at Lila. If any of you could read Shadow, it's the expression of, I told you once I would do everything for you, and I'm not going to stop now, as he just stands there.
Greg!
And Alcina, in front of you appears another button.
Fuck. They fully pressed down on the button that they were on. And it was Ursula's button.
Ursula, you feel the ground beneath you for a moment start softening like metal that's been over-tilled and then finally snaps.
No.
And you fall.
No.
There's not a splash. There's
No.
not a sound. There's nothing to indicate that you fall anywhere. You simply just do not exist anymore.
Nope.
And in front of you, the Datura flower blooms open, Alcina, with enough magic to replace your pact, if not more. And the sign shifts to, why not keep going?
I dive after Ursula.
Okay.
I don't fucking
Go for
care.
it.
I'm off the platform. I don't fucking care. The moment I see her start to fall, I dive after her.
Same expansive nothingness. Same increase in power. A platform remains with Greg and Faye, Lila, yourself, and Ezra.
I'm jumping down too.
Jumping in. Once more.
We
It
U-Haul
expands.
lesbians, let's go.
Does Greg and Faye follow?
I don't think Greg would. I mean, Lila, he's your familiar, so if you want Greg to jump in, you can, but his last directive was kind of like, hold Faye, so he's following that
I
unless
want
you want him
him
to follow you
to
in.
finally have a choice in something. So whatever
Ouch.
he gets to choose.
Ouch,
He's gonna
Jenna.
stand there and hold Faye then.
Alcina will look at them just trembling and just, well, aren't you going to go too? Aren't you going to leave? Or do you want me to press it for you? Say something! Say something. they'll press the button.
And both Greg and Faye fall, and there is an overwhelming mote of light in front of you, stemming from this flower, power drawn from the earth itself, smelling of a beautiful smell that could attract anyone, could be used for good, to keep pests out of a garden, or evil, to take down people who are against you. But the natural sense of Alcina's favorite flower is presenting itself to you in an overwhelming amount of power. And all that's left is you and Ezra. He looks at you and says, "Is that not even enough?"
Like, you were always meant to leave.
I was always meant to be by your side. You simply weren't meant to be here this long.
I was meant for better things.
You are. And I hope you act upon that. And I hope you continue to make the world better, Alcina. And then he's going to step off and disappear. You're alone on the platform.
And she just like clutches the platform, just screaming for everyone, like at the edges of the boundary, and just clutching at herself, slowly crumbling under like the weight of like they're fully alone on this platform.
And all that remains is either to press the final button and send yourself into the abyss, or step back, finishing your trial.
She like climbs up to the platform and kind of like holds that light, and if she could see like anything reflect back at her, she will look. She'll think of her mother for a moment, just one little moment, and just think to herself, I still have your face. The last face you had before you were gone. I will live 1,000 lives you deserve to live. I will not accept crumbs as the loaves you accept them for. I will not take in every little hurt bird only for them to bite me back. I will be better for you. And she wants to grab the power. But she'll press her button to drop down as well. Before saying, but I want them too.
That is where we'll take our break. We'll see you all on the other side. So Ursula, as you feel the platform shift beneath you like soft metal, you're suddenly lower than you thought you were, and looking up through a tinted pane at the scene above you from which you just thought you felt yourself fall. You see Alcina floating up there with a panel. You see Ezra and Faye and Greg and Lila, and very shortly after, Selma dive into the abyss and land next to you. Neither of you harmed in any capacity. As you look up and Lila, following suit, jumps down and the three of you are watching, unharmed, Alcina continue to grow the power in front of her as each person gives up their life for hers. What would the three of your thoughts be as Ezra is standing there and Greg is standing there being told, say something, say anything, as he's just sitting there, silently asking to remain alive?
Ursula is, first of all, I think immediately as soon as she saw that Selma and Lila came down, she would immediately go and hug them, like, because they're okay and happy that they're all okay. But she is not happy with Alcina's choices, I think she's looking up and looking at Greg, who has decided himself to untether from Lila and is holding Faye. I think Ursula has a problem with Alcina at the moment. Internally, anyway.
Selma can't keep her hands off her sister because she's just glad she's actually alive. Like, that's entirely her focus was, she's here, she's okay, she's right here. What was I supposed to do if she was gone? Wait, how would I have handled, wait, was I gone? Did I, like, it's just, she's just almost like a little kid just holding your hand.
Lila.
Lila's definitely giving you a big hug. Are Greg and Faye also down here?
Within a couple of seconds, you'll have to catch Faye as a jar falls and Greg slips back into your shadow. But that'll be in about 30 seconds.
I don't know how to hug a shadow, but I would like to.
Yeah, you have shadow magic. You can hug Greg.
Have your shadow make your shadow hug that shadow.
Aww.
Yeah. And then I think because this just become like a little thing between the two of them, she'll give Ursula a little hand squeeze and give her like kind of like a knowing look, as if she's just, you know, the only person in the entire world. She's happy she's okay.
That's nice.
And moments later, Ezra willingly jumps down and looks to all of you. I didn't know what was beyond the veil, but I'm glad it wasn't death.
You
and
knew?
then he turns his attention. No. But I knew she would choose herself over me in the end, so I figured I didn't need to give her the choice. He was quite fond of reminding me I would eventually leave and betray her. So, I did.
So this entire time, and now she's let go of Ursula's hand, because now it's now Selma is shifting into attack mode, right?
Okay.
Because anytime Selma, like, she doesn't do feelings well, but if she can see something to fight, that is a target, right? So as she lets go of her, so this entire time, you mean to tell me when the road started? She gestures to the group of them, were options?
Yes. And quick note for Ursula and Lila, are you watching Selma or are you watching Alcina on the scene above? Where is your attention set?
Ooh.
I think with
I'll probably be
Ursula's,
watching Alcina.
I was gonna say with Ursula's astigmatism, she's probably focusing on this glowing ball of light. Can't quite make out Alcina, but is focusing on this ball of light.
Oh shit.
Then you both would know everything that Alcina said to the ball of light as she looked in her reflection.
And
While
Selma doesn't hear
Selma
that.
is nope. While Selma is consulting with consulting is the wrong word. While Selma is aggressing towards Ezra.
I was gonna say, insulting!
Yeah. And he looks to you and responds, everyone's always been an option to her. Just depends on how much she likes you, if she's willing to spend you or not. In your defense, it's normally tiny moments people wouldn't notice, but didn't feel like there would be tiny moments here, and she didn't quite seem to care.
I understand. And when it's and when Selma says "I understand," the subtext is like it's not even subtext. It's the teeth are growing, right? She's trying to use big kid words as the fangs are literally extending, claws are starting to sharpen her hand. I understand what it's like to hunger, to sustain you, and have that be your only thing. And I can conceive that. However, with my sister, and she points to Ursula, who is probably very rightfully so looking up again.
Stigmatism.
Stigmatism. That's a completely different story. So you mean to tell me my sister was always the first to go?
You'll have to ask her. And you feel Elsina drop down right next to Ezra because he moves to catch her so that she does not hit the ground. And Elsina, you feel yourself cradled once again in Ezra's wings as he has saved you from a moment of pain. However, in this time, Selma is staring teeth and claws out directly at him, and now you.
She doesn't see that. She's just crying heavily, sobbing, and like if there was that moment in the fall where she was fully alone and she felt enveloped by something, she doesn't think it's him. She thinks it's the end. And so she just full tears, everything. And then once she feels like the feathers, she'll hit at him. And like in sobs. I failed, and I'm sorry.
You didn't fail. Honestly, I didn't think you had it in you to win. And Selma, you're still doing whatever you want to do.
So in that moment, seeing the tears, Selma has moved directly in front of her sister between Alcina. It doesn't matter that she's crying. It does matter. Let me rephrase that. It does matter that she's crying. It does hurt Selma. But right now, all she can perceive in her animalistic magic is a threat. So she's just fully back right and directly in front of Ursula, not letting not even that they would, but not letting Alcina get anywhere near Ursula at all.
I think even though Selma's doing that, I think Ursula is still gonna step to the side so she can witness what's happening. She'll still stay behind, but even though she's heard everything that Lucina said, including choosing us, I don't think that changes the decision that was made first for Ursula.
And Lila, what are you doing?
I think she's looking at Alcina and like, I think they did share a genuine kind of bonding moment when they were doing shots in the bar, because what better bonding than over getting shit-faced. And if Ezra ever puts her down, I think Lila might go over to her to give her a comforting hug.
They don't like wrap your hand like arms around you or accept it. They just crumple into it. And why are you doing this?
Lila will put her hand softly on the back of your head, just like making sure that you know that you're safe. And she's like, because we care for you. and we're going to choose you.
I have not changed. And I will not change. And she'll say in her like mother tongue.
I think you have changed because why are you upset? Someone who didn't care wouldn't be upset. Someone who didn't care, who wasn't a good person, wouldn't be broken up over this. Perhaps the reasons you want power aren't as selfish as you think.
Also true that at no other point from knowing you would you not have grabbed the ball of light and claimed it for your own. Whether that means you've changed or you are seeking different forms of power, I do not know. My mistress still stands for you once we walk through the door. But you've made a choice I would not expect you to make, and a choice I felt I had to make for you. And I'm glad to see that I was wrong. If you continue to prove me wrong, that is. And Ezra says that you do see a door has appeared over on the side. Just a simple wooden door that can be opened at any time to continue on.
She'll turn to see Selma stand in front of Ursula, and just she'll give a little smile, even under the tears, just knowing where exactly their choices are lie. So she'll like kind of stiffen up, like her, like she'll have resolve, kind of look up, even kind of actually make eye contact with Ursula for like a second before kind of glancing away. And to Ezra, they will say, no, she'll say this out loud, even if it's to Ezra. She'll say, the same choice. It's still the same choice. Whatever she does in this realm, whatever she can do in this realm, includes more than just me. And I know what I'm going to choose, and that is my freedom. Because there's going to be one day, Ezra, one goddamn desperate day, where I'm hungry for more time, and I'm going to stand in front of one of them and take something dear to them. A memory I cannot ever replace. I either hunger forever or I can be free. And she'll like take out the stopwatch, and this is, she probably did it 100 times over the last 80 years, but she's gonna do it again. She's gonna throw it as far as she can, and like hold down the pocket that it's usually in, so it doesn't come back, and just like hope for it again. But seeing the sisters not get closer to them, she'll walk away from them, and she'll like kind of, the way she leaves you, Lila, is softly though, like as if with the same care that you've given her, she like softly pulls everything off, as if so uncomfortable with being taken care of, but still accepts it and then just walks away, kind of feeling guilty and ashamed, but also kind of proud, or like holding up that veneer of like, this didn't hurt me anyway, kind of bullshit, I guess.
And do you go through the door then? Or do you just stay here in the basement of your trial?
I don't know if she's feeling like the room wants her there, so she's going to keep going if she does.
Okay. Anyone doing anything as Alcina walks out of her trial?
I know what Gloria wants to do, but I'm not Gloria in this instance, so I'm gonna shut up.
Okay.
Are Ursula and Selma having a moment at all?
It's also we've just been staring.
I don't know.
I don't think we're having a moment.
No.
Okay. So then Lila is going to walk very determined up to Ursula and just take her face in between both of her hands and give her a very passionate kiss.
Great.
And
I'm out of the room.
So okay.
I leave.
You're okay. I'm so happy you're okay.
I think Ursula accepts this giant kiss and then, from all the frustration, grabs you by the hair and squeezes only lightly, and then kisses you back. And it's just like, I wasn't expecting that, but I think it was very needed in this moment.
Little hand squeeze.
Hand squeeze back. And I think Ursula is just, I am struggling at the moment. And I really hope that Selma is still around so she can hear it.
Oh, I was gonna say Selma is like out the door.
Selma did say, "I leave the room."
Damn it! Okay.
I know, because you guys started making out, and she was like, I need to go after one. Someone needs to. I'm glad, like in Selma said, she's like, that's nice that she got a hug. Now someone needs a talking to, right?
Mm-hmm. I think Ursula's gonna say to Lila then, since Selma's not in the room. I don't know that I have anything nice to say to Alcina at the moment. I'm feeling very confused about the choices that was made, and I don't want to act emotionally. At least, not like I would with you, but I think I would rather have Selma have this conversation than me at this moment.
I think that's wise. For what it's worth, as someone who has not necessarily gotten to know Alcina, but has shared moments with, I wouldn't take it personally, even though that's so much easier said than done.
It's kind of hard to accept that when I was the first button pressed. So I understand I'm not happy, but
That's a valid feeling.
I do understand, and I just don't trust Alcina. Even I asked how we could help, and I was told I couldn't help. But I did when that button was pressed. I was the first gone, so I'm struggling. And again, I want to understand, but right now I can't. And then she's just gonna squeeze your hand and say, but I'm really happy that we are all alive. We might not be okay.
Would you like potential insight, or would you like to just feel your feelings right now?
I will take the insight and feel my feelings.
I think this was her trial. She had to do something. One of us was going to be it. I always assume necessity or something of that sort rather than malice. Who knows? Maybe it was foreplay between your sister and her. Then it could be
To kill me.
You've been
And
sharing
I think Ursula like kind of like, when you're so exhausted that everything's funny. I think Ursula laughs at the fact that yes, foreplay is killing me.
Shall we catch up to them then?
Slowly. I don't think I want to see her yet.
I'll follow your
And
pace.
Selma, at the speed you abandoned the room, you would only be a few paces behind Alcina's exit. And you would see, both of you seeing, and Mozz, feel free to narrate Alcina's reaction that Selma would be seeing. As soon as you step out, it's always been night on the road. But now the full moon is fully risen. There's a blood-red hue over everything, and way off in the distance appears to be some sort of shrine or altar upon which several gifts are sitting. But in front of that, blocking the road, is a single banyan tree, with the Morrigan sitting on her throne, with no room to get around unless you choose to go into the forest itself. And Mozz, what would Alcina be reacting like in the brief moments that they're alone before Selma can catch up to them?
Where, with each step away from them, knowing or seeing how the sisters looked, they are hardening their heart more with each step. And even though walking closer to her lady and her patron, it is the most fearful thing for her. She knows what choice she can make, and that uncertainty kind of dissipates, even if it is failure, and even if it's something bad. She knows that she feels certain now, and rather than indecisive. So she has a angered face, hands are all in fists, and she is marching straight for the Morrigan, either to fight her down or to give her goddamn freedom. She just has that. She wants it, and she's gonna ask for it pretty much.
And so, Selma, that's the Alcina you see as you catch pace with her.
Do I see the Morrigan too? I think from perspective-wise, Alcina's looking at the Morrigan so they wouldn't notice who Selma was talking to. So you can play with that, Mozz, however you feel. But I think once Selma sees the Morrigan, a snarl will rip from her and she'll go, this is your fucking fault!
You see her, this is canonically having the same time you are having smooches. There is no running.
I'm running faster!
These conversations are at
No running.
There are no smooches. Yeah, I think you just see a smile go across the Morrigan's face, and you hear once more in your mind, foresight is always your skill.
And she goes,
stop her.
And she goes, I'm a forward fucking thinker, and she'll lunges for the Morrigan.
Okay, so Alcina, you see Selma then not only catch up to you, but run past you and lunge at your mistress. And I guess, Emma, make an attack roll.
Let's do the interaction. I mean, the reaction first, because just went from almost angry fight to almost angry fight, just like a blur. And Alcina's just shocked face first thought that they were going for them when they said it's your fucking fault.
Yeah.
So they'll kind of come back and put their the spell is Shadow Blade, but it's like wings and feathers, kind of like up to defend and scream out just like at them. But as they like blur past, they're just in a daze, and they'll look back to Ezra and like reach out a hand for him to give her some speed to catch up. I think she is just, she's not naive to think that something has been healed over. They just feel like they have a mutual enemy. So that's probably what she is thinking, but before Selma gets to them, they will say, "What are you doing?"
Dirty 20.
30-20, that hits. Go ahead and pump as much damage as you want. I'm not going to tell you what you're doing. You can tell me you want to spend as much fatigue as you want to put as much damage dice as you are in. Your attack got off before Elsina asked you a question, so you narrate what you want to do, Emma, and it will happen.
Hold on, so how many, sorry, where did my sheet go? Where did the Google Drive go? Oh, it's in the Rich's recording, right? Is it? No, fuck.
Would you like a link?
Please.
I'll give you link.
Same rules of you can spend 2 points of exhaustion to gain 1 die.
I'm gonna spend all that I have left. So that would be. Give me one
You
sec.
refreshed at the beginning of the day, no?
Yep. So I'm gonna use the like whatever. Oh, that's the. Do we have the? Sorry.
You'd have.
Character sheets.
You would have 7
I'll give you
spots
character
left,
sheets.
so you can spend 6 of them to get 3 additional dice.
One moment, sister.
Thank you,
I'll save
sister.
you.
Thank you, sister.
I'll give you a piece of my soul.
Nope. We're not doing that
Already
anymore.
happened. Muting now.
So I'm gonna spend 6, and then because Selma is feeling an extra fuck you in this moment, I'll spend another box for an improvised magic effect.
Okay.
That improvised magic effect being, what do I know about the Morrigan as an entity?
You would know, if we're thinking what you would know from growing up in rural England, being close enough to Scottish and Gaelic myth, you would know that has typically given their blessing to people who she thinks can win. Is there to not only preside over victory, but also death and war, taking time of being like, people that need to change history, whether or not it's their choice, are gifted the benefit. For that reason, she never truly appears corporeally, because why would she? She's got nothing to do here. You also know from the time she's interacted with you on the road, she told Elsina she cannot physically step on the road unless Elsina gives her permission to. So whatever is here has to be a vestige or an entity at best, and not her physical form. In terms of like weaknesses or anything, there's nothing that has been written because she's never been outwardly attacked before. I don't know if that answers your question. Feel free to ask me more details.
No, it does. I think like a enraged dog would try to rip apart a raven. She's gonna go for the jugular, and with that extra
Okay.
point, let me see. With that extra point, because I'm already adding the. I kind of want to something like the fear condition. Like it might not work,
Ooh.
but like she
Mhm.
wants the Morgan to be.
Yeah.
Jostled.
So like we could just say that like through your bite you're casting the fear spell.
Yeah.
Okay. Which would be a saving throw of something.
I don't have spells because I.
A wisdom saving throw. And your spell save DC is 16.
Yes.
She gets a +5 to wisdom. So,
Love that for me.
Alcina, you're watching this happen. If there's anything you want to do to help or hinder your patron in this wisdom save, let me know.
If the Morgan falls, does she die?
Does the Morgan die?
No.
Does Alcina die?
Because her magic is
There's-
literally what's keeping her alive.
There's never been anything to indicate that she can die. So I think that's a very unknown question to Alcina.
Yeah. Yeah, but Selma paints a really good picture, so it kind of seems possible right now. They're just contemplating that and just yelling out, what are you doing? And just like yelling, trying to get in between if they could. I'm guessing they're not as fast as Selma is, so
Yeah.
they're while others are getting insight from smooches.
Different kind of insight.
Please.
I don't know if they can stop them. They're going to try to slow them both down to at least hear what is happening. They have
Just
something that I don't
one
know.
decision, though. Would you be
I
giving
understand.
her disadvantage, advantage, or neither? And then we can go from there.
Okay. I want to give there's a time in a bottle spell, but I want to give pretty much stopping the Morgan from hurting Selma, even though that doesn't look like it. It could seem like time
Let's say
is stopping and
disadvantage
still
on the
hurting.
save, then. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're siding with Selma here.
Yeah, I don't want it to be obvious though. It's just more like she's stopping to
The
give
lower
more
of the
time.
two was an 11, which brings it to a 16 with the +5, which is your new spell save.
Yeah.
With your boon. So she still is not in fear of you, but she is slowed by Alcina.
Pretty fucking
Go ahead and
close.
roll your damage. She is pretty fucking
close.
She is. You almost scared a god.
I'm this close.
I would have gotten away with it too.
So I'm so sorry, math. Remind me for how many slots I add extra?
You get 3 additional.
3 additional. Okay, cool. So it's 4d6 plus.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, it's not a lot, but I don't fucking care. It's the principle of it all. 18 plus 20. 20
Okay.
points.
Alcina, you do not see her get out of her chair or anything, but as the Morrigan starts bleeding from now an open wound from her neck, she just looks at you and says, "Are you letting others make your choices for you now? Or are you choosing to act?" And at that time, Lila and Ursula, you would also enter onto the scene.
Oh, you're muted,
You're
Jenna.
muted, Jenna. Let's get that on a t-shirt.
You know what that one was.
Well, because I can't trust myself not to do tippy types. So I mute myself when it's not me. Anyway, I have a thing that I would like to do.
Actually, let's have you, Ursula, and Alcina all roll initiative for
Okay.
who gets to act next.
I'll do it in D&D Beyond.
Ba-ba!
No!
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
Which would be really cool if it like happened on something that mattered besides initiative, but we'll take it.
Which
Five.
would be really fucking
Alcina.
Maybe
It's a
my
five.
dice look at the
8.
Rolled a 2.
So then, Alcina, you were standing there with the question
Sorry,
of,
6.
are you...
I can't make math.
It's okay. There's a
Okay.
lot going on. There's a lot going on.
You are standing there with the question of, are you going to allow others to start making choices for you, ringing in your head? Lila, what do you run in and do?
She's going to see this and see the two people that she's not spent an incredible amount of time with against a foe, but she'll still choose those two people, and she's just going to say, Omina Ventis, as she's going to cast Ominous Winds. I'm going to need a DC 16 charisma saving throw from the Morrigan, and if she fails, she's going to have to subtract a 1d12 from every roll she makes.
Fucking
It
lit.
also has a +5 to this, so that means on a
I would like to
spell save
upcast it
is
with my shadow magic so that she does this at disadvantage.
So that she's a
What do I
dumb
need to do
bitch.
for that?
Sure.
Yeah. Wrecked.
Good. Not. I'm glad you did the spell. It's a 2 and a 3. Neither of those
don't
would
care.
succeed. Yeah.
I don't care.
So spend the exhaustion or the upcast or whatever. But yeah, yeah, you see her fail as just, she has always gifted people words, and as the words of Lila's like love towards everyone in her life, whether or not she shows it as love or support or kindness or what,
Lila.
just for a moment steps in and interrupts the connection between Alcina and the Morrigan, as the Morrigan is being confronted with support. And we'll have subtractions. Still stunned Alcina, it'll be Ursula's action first, but I want to know what's going through your head as you see everyone around you coming to your support.
I don't think she knows what that it is support. It feels like something crazy is about to happen. But she also thinks she's scared of losing her life as well. So she's kind of actively in her head, just no, it will be for nothing. And just thinking that as she's like kind of looking at everything happening.
And if there's anything small you want to do in this moment, not like a full action or anything, like a small thing you want Alcina to get off, you control a lot of time. Even though you're last in initiative, you can make some choices here.
Can you hear the rattling of my chair arms?
Yes, we can.
I don't know what she would do. There's like a half action. She's trying to stop everything from just going, right? So it could be poorly done where it's like when she's trying to slow someone down, it speeds them up, or she's trying to it's kind of a mix of write the stars, warping the flow of space and time to enhance their conjurations with cosmic potency, but also trying to make a time loop where they. So I will take as many fatigue points later on. I know it's a half action, but and you can say like totally, I'm fine with you. Like what is it? It not working out right, but she's trying to stop and also help. It just she doesn't understand what the heck's going on. After what
So you're
happened,
trying to like
they should not be
essentially
doing this.
hold everyone in their moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You are up next against Ursula. What is there a save for that spell? If not, we will do the save for the slow spell.
Oh no, but I will say the write the star spell gives. Nah, no save. You can do the slow spell.
Okay. Then, Ursula, as you are running into the scene and Alcina is just trying to maintain a sense of composure and calm, please make a wisdom saving throw to see if you can take your turn.
Okay.
And Mozz, right now go ahead and take 3 boxes of fatigue.
What do I need to meet?
You need to meet a 15.
Okay, please. Oh, 24! 25!
Okay. So, Alcina, you are trying to just maintain a moment of calm, get anything under control, anything understood, and with the power of devotion towards others, Ursula breaks through your time spell and continues with whatever they want to do. Ursula, it is your turn.
Ursula looks at Alcina and says, "Do you want your life and your freedom and your power? Is that what you want?"
You don't know that's going to be granted to me if she dies. It could all be gone. Everything could just, and as it's like fading through, like, I'm just imagining this time saw kind of cracking in front while Ursula's breaking through it. So their eyes are kind of looking at all the little moments that are just shattering around them, and like.
And you want your power and your freedom.
Yes.
She's looking dead in your eyes. Yes? Okay. Ursula is going to use her boon to untether Alcina from the Morrigan, and so that Alcina can also keep her power.
So you're spending your Trust the Weave?
Yes.
Okay. Alcina and Ursula together, please narrate for me what it looks like as the raw magic of this plane not only repels the Morrigan out of it, but severs the connection without taking anything from Alcina. I would like the two of you to paint this for me.
I think Ursula is still very angry, but understands that all Alcina wants is her freedom. She is looking dead into her eyes and is trying to convey, like, we can help each other, and looks over at the Morrigan and summons the winds from around the banyan tree, and I want her vanished from this area. All the power from the winds all around, let it happen. Give Alcina her freedom.
And Alcina?
With the winds, the image of staying rooted in something that, like, she knows so clear in what she wants, and seeing the look of anger, but also determination to still help you when you're angry at them. I think to Ursula, it is the first time Alcina kind of softens, and the magic that is happening feels like the shaking of the ground and the roots taking firm stance of what is in this plane and what is not allowed anymore.
So, with probably supported by Lila's dissonant wind already in there, preventing the Morrigan from fully accessing Alcina, Ursula, you channel what you have channeled your entire life, the raw force of the nature around you, and are able to literally sever the connection between a god and their deity and their patron, and punt them out of a plane, doing an act of healing of the soul that I don't think even you knew you had in you. Selma, what are you wondering?
Knowing Selma, she's not gonna let go of trying to maul this goddess. So when the Morgan gets punted, can Selma also get punted? Because she's not releasing.
That's a wonderful question. So this brings up a huge question, because the magic of the road does not let any of you leave, but your sister is also actively disrupting the magic of the road. So
I know that she would not be trying to punt her sister out.
No, but that's right, exactly,
No.
exactly. But
Yeah.
knowing Selma, right? Selma doesn't know how to show affection well. She can show it through combat. So in a way, this is Selma saying both, whether Alcina knows it or not, I love you, and I will take this out for you. But also, don't fuck with my sister again.
I think with how the road works, you can't leave, but I would love to know what part of Selma is given up as it's ripped out of her, as the Morrigan is sent out as well.
What would the Morrigan take?
Anything. Anything you could give her that would give more power to her in the future.
No, I guess that's a question for you, though, because I don't know.
I think it's more, there's a part of you that has to leave with her.
Yeah.
So it could be either your drive of protection, it could be your want to keep people safe, it could be your fear of death. It can be anything relating to, like, continuation, winning, or victory. And she's going to take a core part of you with her as your teeth are just in her and the teeth get pulled along with. It could also be something mechanical, like if you want it to be your feral form.
I was
She could
gonna
take that as
say,
well.
would it be a class restructure? Like she loses
could do
her
that.
power. Like Morgan takes her power.
Yeah. We can do that. So as your sister shunts out a huge magical beast from the world, still ingrained with it, your magic is pulled right alongside.
Can we have flavor-wise that Selma magic is gonna haunt the Morgan?
Of course, why not?
Like it's not it's
How
like
a-
there's like a small chihuahua always hanging off her arm. Like
yeah, it's like there's a spectral wolf eternally
Yes,
chasing this raven.
Correct.
Yeah.
There is a dog always attacking.
So, you all, but Alcina being the closest, would just see retreated back to human scarecrow form. Selma fall to the ground where the roots of a banyan tree were. The rest of you are standing there. No more Morgan. No more tree. Just an altar at the end of the road a few blocks in front of you.
With the Morgan gone, did the stopwatch ever come back?
You left it on the floor in the room behind you.
And it never just magically came back at all? They looked at it. What was the last time that was on it?
Would have been about 5:30 in the morning.
Like they're kind of scratching at the empty pocket. And seeing Selma down, they kind of step 2 steps forward, but they pull their hand back and like look up to Ursula and Lila. Kind of afraid to do anything.
What would the rest of you be doing?
Recovering from using big power, kneeling on the floor, breathing
Yeah, is
heavily.
Ursula in a Victorian coma? Because
She's
Lila's
in a-
going to
she's
run
in a
over
Victorian-
and
Because she
get
entered the
her.
Victoria coma once more.
Yeah.
She enters Victorian kneeling dramatically on the ground.
I rush over and make sure that I help support.
She like holds on to your arm. It's just like, but not like as hyperventilating as I sound. Yes. That did take a lot, and
You're exquisite.
she is trying to catch her breath and
In
once
every
again
sense.
loses it.
Truly, looking upon you, I don't know how anyone could accuse you of murder. Don't go back to that time. You should come back with me. Would you want to?
Come back with you to your time. What? Wait, what year is that?
2025. I had to look at the actual year. I'm like, okay, wait. I almost said 2024. I was like, no. It is February. I'm not allowed to do that anymore.
That is I also think you're exquisite. Exquisite, excuse me. I can't think. You've taken my breath away multiple times today. I don't have any reason to go back, but I need to also speak to Selma about what we're going to do. I think, 2025 is a very long time. It's more than 100 years. Do they
My
have...
friend across the hallway has an extra room in his flat. Alcina and Selma could share.
living with a man?
I don't really look at him like that, but yes, I guess he is a man.
Oh, okay. I will speak to Selma because I don't think we should go back, but I need to know what she wants to do too. We came in this road together and life together, and I would hate to suddenly not be with her after all of this, and I would hate to be apart from you, but we should have that conversation as well.
Let's open it to the group. But allow them to have their cute little moment if they have one.
yeah.
Does Alcina go to confront lying down Selma, or are they left there alone?
Seeing Lila and Ursula, they will, but very cautiously. They'll kind of crouch down, and they're kind of holding the soil into their hands, kind of gripping it near them, and trying to see if they are still breathing, or if they're knocked out, or anything like that.
I think...
I'll let you choose, Emma.
Yeah, I think Selma's a little bit in shock because for the first time since you've known her, a pair of ruby red eyes don't gaze back at yours. They're a warm brown like Ursula's. And the pointed fangs that would always sneak beneath her teeth in a smile are gone. This entire sense of primal, ruggedness that came with her is completely gone, and there's just a young woman staring back up at you.
You shouldn't have done that.
Well, I needed her to leave you alone.
She could have harmed your sister. Or you.
As I made it clear, I don't really care about me. She looked up at you, and an eyebrow raises. When it comes to my sister. But... No, she didn't hear the conversation after. And yet again, she's in shock. She doesn't have, like... It's like someone... It's like she's... This is a really bad analogy, but it's like someone who is going through the process of, like, medication for, like, you know, a really intense disorder, right? She's evened. She's, you know, one level. And she says surprisingly very calmly, "You were put in that situation." Yes.
I chose that situation.
And you chose my sister.
I did.
When I told you to choose me.
thought I did.
At this, she'll feel the lightest knot. Very slowly, a light touch on their hand. My sister is a part of me. She is everything that I wish I could be. And the world doesn't deserve her. If you choose me, and her eyes go right to theirs, you must accept and choose her. And if I choose you, I won't leave.
If you really choose me, then you should. You should choose me in all my forms.
Could we maybe take out the one that tries to kill my sister?
That is what I am saying. If it came to the end, if it came to a moment like that again, could you really want someone who would choose you over your sister if it meant saving your life? Because honestly, I would. And I'll do it again. And I'll do it again. And if you really are choosing me, then choose exactly who I present myself to be.
Do you love me?
Alcina will kind of like lean in and knowing that they're okay will kind of crumble into like their neck, kind of holding them and just softly sob, kind of like releasing just like, and you'll hear like a mumbled, "I'm so happy you're okay."
And Selma will rest her cheek on theirs, hands instinctively wrapping around her, and a hand scratching in their hair, whisper in their ear, "Because if you love me, I need you to not give a fuck about what happens to me. Let me worry about that."
Mentally, she's thinking, "Hell no," but she's still sobbing.
She's still crying.
She's just relaxing into your arms and then like holding you and just being quiet with that last sentence. She doesn't cry like that in open, so if Ezra could cover them in their wings, that would be amazing. Just so I don't have to deal with these emotions. God,
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Oh no, that's right. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
God, that was so instinctual. Alcina, like, pulls away from Selma and they're like kind of when you're looking for keys in the dirt kind of thing, they're looking around. No, and screaming like, you foul bird, where are you? Where? And then just like calling out to her other partner who's gone, who's like, what? And just can I do a check to see? God, I already know the
And no
answer.
check would find him.
God damn.
Someone will get out. And starting to see Alcina spiral and panic, calling out his name. He said you always told him to leave.
Yes, but he always comes back. That is... We just didn't name it. We didn't say it out loud. 80 years of just running and we just never had a reason to say it. I just never had a reason to tell him I didn't want him to leave. Did she take him with her? And she just yells out to Morgan to like, come back, you fucking bitch, bring him back. And screaming out to the road. She will like kind of take a couple paces forward, turn around,
As you specifically scream out to the road, your eye would be drawn to the altar at the end of it, where it seems like a new offering is there. And if you all walk closer, there's a plinth for each of you, representing what you may have asked for at the start, but also knowing that a lot of you have changed who you are along its path. Selma asking to remove her power, and her power's gone. Ursula asking for proof that her sister, proof that she's innocent, which she now has, whether she needs it in a physical form or not. Lila, a body you could put this soul into if you chose to. So on your plinths, sisters, there's a question of, what do you truly want? But Alcina, on yours, there's the same question. But there's two objects, and you can only pick one. One of which, a little raven familiar who you can sense Ezra inside, and the other all the power you gained during your own trial. Lila, what do you do as you approach your plinth?
What exactly is presented before me?
Essentially, Faye's body, and where the heart cavity is a spot that you could lower her soul into.
I think she is looking at it, looking at the jar, kind of just staring at one point without actually looking at where her eyes are directed. Is there a way for her to be able to determine if there's a trick?
You
Is
can,
there a
yeah.
catch? Do I get
Insight it all
Faye
you
back,
want.
or do I get current Faye back after she was in the Shadow Realm for however many years? How could I determine
You had just
that?
asked to get Faye back. So if you
Yeah.
want to restate your wish, you can. It seems the others are all given flexibility in this moment, and it has no reason to prevent
Okay.
you from flexibility as well.
I think she's going to look at this body and look at the jar of Faye. Her mind will travel back to just moments prior during Alcina's trial where she gave Greg a choice. And I think that's what she's going to allow for Faye. And she's going to hold this jar and just restate her wish. I want my friend to be able to choose if she would like to come back after going through what she did, or if she would like to stay there.
Okay. And you see a little shimmer go across the body, as almost like, this is another weird analogy to quote Emma. You know when like towels look clean and then you shake them out and a bunch of dust falls out? As this mirage goes across her, like all the dust in the body releases to seems to be a much less burdened Faye.
Does she arise, or is she just like chilling? Is she
Are you
having a nice little
putting-
Victorian coma nap? Why am
Are
I-
you putting the soul inside?
Hashtag Victorian
Well, I mean,
coma.
no, but my whole choice is like, my whole wish is that I want her to be able to choose this.
Mm.
I don't want this choice to be on me.
Got it. Then if she is able to choose, you see like the light come out and set itself back in. And then almost like looking through a distorted mirror, you see her stand up and take your hand, and you recognize it. And you see through her, she's back in the like your current apartment that you made the archway for, and you have a feeling that you're standing on the other side of the archway. And she just says, "I really hope you can get back to me too." And then it shuts down, and you do not see Faye. Selma, what do you ask for? Having your wish already granted.
I was gonna say, I think she's gonna go stand by her sister. We're gonna have to find Faye. She went home. I think she'll go stand next to her sister, and for the first time in your life, your twin will look back with eyes like yours. To say, what are you going to wish for?
Are you okay?
I'm healed.
You've always been you. And then she gives her a hug. No, you've always been you. And now,
Yes, but
hopefully, a burden's been lifted.
no, look though, and she'll, push her back. Look at me. I'm healed. I
think-
was a monster before, and now look at me.
I think
I'm
Urs-
whole.
I think Ursula's gonna let Selma be happy in this moment and not tell her who she thinks she never was. Do you know what I mean by that? Like,
Yep.
you're
It's
never
it's
a
a very hard.
monster.
I'm giving you I'm throwing a really, really hard curveball, Gloria.
I think she's gonna let her be happy and not try to just say like, no, you were never a monster, la-di-da.
Yeah.
I think she's just going to sob and hug her and embrace her and just like reach up to like mess with her hair and like really high up try and
Yep.
mess with her hair. It's probably just touching her cheek like. But I think she's gonna say, my wish has come true already. I know that we know the answer to my innocence. And I could not live with myself if we went back the truth came out about you. I don't think we should go back, and I think together we should find somewhere else to be. Lila said that you could live in a flat with a man, and
the face went from oh to ew.
and whatever choice you decide to make, I hope that we can still be together. But I don't want to make that choice for you.
Wait, if her powers are gone, your mark is gone.
That is true.
And with your curse gone, I think Selma will recognize that, and she'll take your hand and flip it over and see that it's gone. And she'll lift her hand up to her sister. Lift your own hand up to you, gently shaking it, and go, "Do you know why I did this?"
No.
I want you to think really hard. Why do you think I did that?
Because you were relieved to see me alive.
One more time. She's not letting go. Not letting go of your hand, right? She's like, nope, I need to hear you say it.
Selma, what did you expect me to do?
And she'll gently let her fingers weave into yours. I expect you to live for you for once.
I think she just lets out a deep sigh.
Can you do that for me? Without curses?
If you don't curse me, then I won't have to. But yes, I can do that.
It's gonna take time.
Something to think about though, Selma, is I couldn't live with myself if... And I think she's just getting teary. When we had our conversation, I was fully ready to stop. But that bracelet was made before we left. And I won't apologize for it. But I think she'll just she's gonna be sitting on that information, or not information, but those thoughts. Wants to live for herself. And I think she's just contemplative about it.
I don't need you to apologize. I just need you to live.
And that's what I wanted for you too.
Well, and without even realizing it, she subconsciously looks over to Alcina, probably still screaming for Ezra.
Oh dear.
Yeah. She'll go, and she'll turn back to you and go, you know, you're always mine, right?
And you're mine?
And by loving more people, that doesn't mean we love each other less, right?
What are you saying?
She looks over to Lila.
Oh.
She'll pull a Greg.
I think Ursula's just blushing right now. I thought you were talking about Alcina.
I'm talking about both.
I think what's going through Ursula's mind right now is she's like, I think, yes, she helped Alcina, but still doesn't trust her. But isn't going to say that to Selma. I think we should definitely. If the road has taught us anything, it's that we can let people in. Aside from getting our answers, I think we can let ourselves be happy and not wonder if Larry is thinking of you. So,
Ew.
I know. I think maybe we move forward. I think we move forward.
What I'm saying is, if you and Lila return to a certain time, and they don't, and when she says they mean Alcina, and they don't want to come with, is it okay if I follow them and find you again in another time?
Oh, that's heartbreaking to me.
I know, but I don't.
I want you to be happy, Selma.
I want you to be happy.
So you do what you have to do.
I want you to choose you.
And of course, I want the same. And I will always find you.
And even if this is gone, she taps to her sister's wrist where the mark was. I want you to remember that.
Ursula puts the bracelet back on Selma's wrist, and says, "You need to remember."
Well, I already had a piece of your soul before you gave me this. That's the joy of growing up with a twin.
I love you, sister.
I love you too. Stop crying, we're not there yet. As she pulls you into a tight hug. She goes, we don't know yet. I'm just saying if it happens.
You can't just bring that up and expect me not to think about all the possibilities.
I understand that. I know you, and that's why I love you, because you're a very sensitive, beautiful summer flower. But I'm just saying. Soothing her.
And as the two of you wrap each other tightly, you feel just the magic circle around the two of you as your wish of the promise to each other has been made. And you feel something in you change as the others' care for you has been instilled. What it is, you'll have to figure out. But you feel the wish grant both of you something. The road grant both of you a wish to keep the others safe. And something is instilled inside as we look to Alcina at the last plinth, with one half holding near god-level magic that could give you every wish you ever asked for, and the other side holding Ezra.
Can she put her hand over it just to feel for a little moment what it would feel like?
Mhm.
What does that?
I think it feels like just breathing in and knowing that nothing could ever touch you. Knowing that every reality you wanted to write is yours. Every dream you wanted to have is available to you. And that every person who would ever dare stand in your way is nothing but dust in the wind after you choose what comes of it.
They kind of. God, they want this so bad. And they'll pick up Ezra and mentally just scream, "Stay."
And as you pick him up and pull him off the plinth, you feel the winged arms wrap around you and give you a hug. won't leave unless you ask me to. No one can take me from you anymore. And the hug you needed moments ago, you're given now, as you have picked Ezra, clearly, for the first time in 80 years.
Me, Mozz, I'm going to go cry into a wall.
Alcina! Where next? By the way, I'm her favorite, she says to Ezra.
She sent you down much faster than she did me.
I jumped. And she's full on, like sliding into, the embrace, clearly trying to get in his face.
Alcina has their, kind of confidence back a little bit just with both of them. But she's realizing what she just said and looking to her sister.
So?
And kind of both of them, though, she'll kind of touch Selma's face and reach for Ezra. Just like two monsters.
Not anymore, I'm healed. And she kind of gives a flip off to Ezra.
Do you know where I came from?
I had some ideas, but I waited for you to tell me.
It could be years before you'd see her again.
She's a part of me. As I am her. No one can take that from us. And she has someone else to look out for her. For once. And although I think she is very odd, I do trust Lila with my sister's life.
We could join them.
Head tilts. Would you like to see the future?
But if you are so keen on some adventure, and if I am really unbound, we could give them a couple of months, a year. Maybe, if that's something of interest.
Would you like to start with us spending time with them, perhaps? I think my sister would really appreciate that.
Yes, I want to see what other magic exists in Lila's time.
And then from there.
And probably see if I could find that Craig in his list.
That will be very seriously, because Selma doesn't, right? She'll gently cup Alcina's face and go, wherever he may be, we'll find it together.
And then, as you all stand there at the end of the road, expecting resolution, a portal, a way out to the year 2025, instead you see a ripple, and campfires appear, long extinguished, with signs of growth, life, and death around them of people who have not made it off the road. You see trees clawed by horrors beyond comprehension of those who possibly lived here their entire life. And you hear the howl of beasts on the wind as the plaque changes to "Find a Way Home." made you all realize maybe the road wasn't as welcoming as it presented itself to be. But that's a story for later.